Eastern PA Weather 30 meteorologist Bobby Martich here with your outlook for the weekend, January 27th and 28th, 2018. For your Saturday, we're going to have a very mild day today. That's because high pressure is off to our east. Went off to our east yesterday and last night, so that is the further east now is going to invite even more warm air to come in. We were already milder yesterday, and now we're going to get into the 50s, it looks like, in most areas today. That's going to be a combination of this cold front moving in from the west. It's going to get southwesterly winds out ahead of it, and the flow around high pressure also southwesterly. That's going to get these temperatures up. So it'll be a very mild day today. We'll call it partly to mostly cloudy, mostly sunny early and then partly cloudy late. I got ahead of myself there. And then this evening, clouds will start to increase ahead of this system, which is moving in from the west. I jumped ahead there. But this is moving from the west. It's just a cold front, not a lot of precipitation with it, just some light showers, maybe a couple tenths of an inch of rain, and that's about it. This is not alert-worthy stuff. It's going to come in mainly for most areas after midnight. Might start a little bit earlier in central Pennsylvania, and then we'll wrap up here on Sunday morning very early. Now, the areas south and east, for Philadelphia I-95-ish and point southeast, this is going to linger into later in the morning, I think. And it'll take a little bit longer for that front to sink to the southeast. So the areas in the interior, since that front is so close in proximity, will probably just remain cloudy all day or mostly cloudy. And you're not gonna see much in the way of sun. So here's a look at late morning, and you can see basically right along I-95 and point southeast, you have some showers continuing. If there's going to be any heavier showers, if you will, not really heavy by any means, but heavier, it's going to be down here across Delaware and South Jersey. And that's it. So this moves off the coast, but it will linger into the afternoon hours further southeast in 95, especially across southern Delaware and southern New Jersey. That will continue into the afternoon hours as well before it finally moves off the coast. And then we are going to remain partly to mostly cloudy here on Monday, Sunday night and Monday. Now we have a couple interesting features here. We have the main low that's going to be moving that's going to be moving along this boundary. It's off to the east. There's another one that's going to try to form right behind it. It's just a little weak surface feature here. This one here is going to take off as well. There's a piece of energy up here in the Great Lakes that also is going to interact with this, and there could be a little bit of light snow or snow showers on Monday night, probably later at night into Tuesday morning. And the models are still suggesting this in different ways. Here's what the European model has. It has this wave forming along this boundary, but you still have this piece of energy that's sitting over western New York and western Pennsylvania that's going to have to rotate through. So this is looking at Monday night. I could have some snow showers in the interior anyway, overnight Monday night, and maybe even a Norland trough or inverted trough that's going to set up. We talked about this yesterday. There's a little trough axis that's going to set up. This is going to be associated with this low pressure offshore. So we'll have to wait and see how that works out. This is going to be one of those deals where they're going to fine tune just in the last 24 to 36 hours. I mean, it's going to, for as far as placement of this, the model's still indicating that it's there. It's not a lot of snow, but it's enough that you can get a quick coating to an inch or maybe even two. Okay, so not a lot of snow, but something, it's snow nonetheless. And that would be primarily Tuesday morning when this would rotate through this trailing energy. Different models are handling this differently, so I really don't want to jump on areas yet or how much or any of that stuff yet. We're just going to wait and see how this works out. This could just disappear like a fart in the wind in the next model cycle and not even be there. So again, we're just going to wait and see how this works out. Once we get to Sunday, and especially on Monday, we'll have a better handle where this thing sets up, if it sets up. And I do think you do at least see some snow showers in parts of the region from this wave moving through from one way or the other. We're just going to wait and see if that's going to be accumulating or just some kind of nuisance dusting or something like that. But once we get beyond this point, Tuesday and Wednesday are colder days. All right, it's going to be another transient colder shot. And then once we get to Thursday, we increase the temperatures again, and that's because we have high pressure off to the east. It's very similar setup again. Cold front off to our west, like this. So you have a southwesterly flow out ahead of this, and the high pressure is sitting out here. So it's going to get temperatures well up into the 40s again on Thursday. So again, transient cold, transient warmth. This is just a back and forth thing for a little bit until we get into February. We start seeing a little bit more consistently cooler temperatures, or at least closer to average. And then once we get into later Thursday night, we have this boundary moving through. Now, this is being handled differently also. This is a very interesting system. This is going to be most likely scenarios probably for a rain to snow deal. where it ends as snow or changes to and ends as snow, at least for the interior, but the details at this point are very far from resolved, so we're going to have to wait and see how this works out. We have everything from just a weak cold front moving through with some snow showers and some light snow showers, maybe like a 1 to 3 inch event, and no area low pressure forming along this boundary. That's what the European model is suggesting. It just aimlessly moves off the coast. Then the other extreme is the GFS that shows rain and warmer temperatures that come in still warmer on Thursday night. A low pressure system forms along that boundary and cuts through the area to the west. So it's going to bring us rain, and you can see that on Friday morning. But then as that area low pressure moves eastward, you get crashing temperatures behind it, and you have a rain changing to snow situation as this low continues eastward. Okay, so this is probably a more, maybe not the amounts or the strong depiction of the low pressure here. Again, the details are going to be fine-tuned as we get closer with this, but this is probably the most likely scenario where at least see rain to start and then you're changing over to snow. How much is still in question. We also have a third model, the Canadian, which just went nuts today and has a mostly, if not all, snow event, and that is had a pretty substantial snowfall across the region. So there's all these options are on the table. It's going to depend on whether or not this low pressure does form along that boundary. And if it does, how strong is it and where does it track? Is it down here where it gives us a pretty good interior snowfall? Is it tracking to our west where it gives us a rain to snow situation? Or does no low pressure form along the boundary at all and we're just dealing with some light snow showers and like a 1 to 2, 1 to 3 inch type deal? All things that we have to work out in the coming week. This is next Friday, so this is a long way away and we have a lot of time to look at this. But just keep this in the back of your mind. This is the next one in the 7-day forecast period that could be affecting us later in the week next week. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martis. That is your outlook for the weekend, January 27th and 28th, 2018. Have a great Saturday and Sunday.